I am back. I'm loving this new stump. I just want you to know that. But you know what's more important than this new stump is this package from Ravencrest, which arrived actually yesterday, but we're going to do the unboxing today and check it out. So I hope you all remember last month's huge disappointment for many of us, not all of us, but that little teeny tiny neck knife. And Ravencrest, you know, themselves kind of commented and said that we're going to love this month, so I'm going to use a Ravencrest, one of, you know, a throwback to one of my favorite Ravencrest knives, the Ambassador. I think this was a great Ravencrest. So you know, we'll use this to get into this Ravencrest package, which has the feel of either a really big folder or a fixed blade. I'm guessing fixed blade by the size of the package. So here we go for July 2019. Dun 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 dun. Oh, okay, fixed blade. That looks oddly familiar. Does that look familiar? Looks very familiar. You know what? Let me stop tape for a minute. Hang on. You guys remember this? That I did the whole custom job on. It looks very similar to this, doesn't it? Incredibly similar. The big difference is you don't have so much the Tonto blade shape, but got more of a kind of a drop point shape. Other than that, it seems to be a very, very similar blank. Slightly different jimping, but look at the big difference after all the complaints of this very ineffective, I mean, in many people's opinion, mine included, obviously, cord wrap. And to be super arrogant and egotistical, my amazing video about the custom handle I put on mine, the scales, and I'll put a link to that in the video description if you haven't seen it already. This one comes with what is actually a pretty nicely machined G10 set of scales, which very nicely increases the width and the feel of this knife over this one. Huh, how about that? How about that? Now, I'd show you mine, but somebody had commissioned me to do a set of scales for him on his, and unfortunately, the work didn't turn out the way I wanted. It just wasn't good enough, so I ended up having to send him mine. I just wasn't willing to send off what I had come up with. It just wasn't good enough, so I sent him the original one. But anyway, so we've got a full tang fixed blade knife, kind of an EDC sized knife. And yes, people do carry fixed blades for EDC. Not me personally, but a lot of people do. We had a lot of talk in this video about the actual definitions of Tonto versus Kwaiken and all sorts of other stuff, and how that separates out. I talked a lot about the Japanese actual definitions of the word. So, you know, there's the Tonto blade shape, and then the actual definition of the Japanese word Tonto, and reference that video again. Link in the video description for the for what it all is, and how the blade length determines the title. Tato, let's do this before we do anything, so humidity doesn't kill the paper. Humidity's already killing the paper. Just may have to do this test inside because it is really humid out here, and it really sets an unfair edge on the paper for the knife to go through. So, you know what, we'll do edge test inside. I'll splice it in. Here's edge testing. it'll do. Needs work. So it is remarkably more comfortable though than the feel of the cord wrapped one. And you can see actually, and you can feel very nice fine machining on the G10. They could have used any old screws, give it a little bit of style. It's nice. Jimping is, it's there. It doesn't grab you. Quite honestly, this jimping is just slightly more effective, but I mean, it's there. You can get a good grip. I mean, at least it's a nice long handle. I think it's not a hard use knife. You're not going to use it for those situations where you are going to be doing like rough, sweaty, all-weather work. It's not that kind of thing. I do feel like it's 440C because everything that Ravencrest puts out they just don't stamp it on the blade that often anymore. But it does have a fairly comfortable feel. You can get a good grip on it. If you wanted to use it in a self-defense capacity, I guess you could. I think it's just more of an EDC utility style knife, which huge props. And I want to feel like they listened to a lot of the complaints and a lot of the comments about the handle on this one, because it's almost the same. I mean, look, the swedge even starts. If you put tang to tang, it starts in the same place and everything. It's almost the same knife. I feel like they really did listen. They took customer, feelings into consideration, and even though it is very similar, just different kind of blade grind, they really tried to make an improvement, I guess, which is good on them. You can feel a little bit of palm swell right there, just a little tiny bit. My mind's not blown, but I am impressed because I feel like they tried to make an improvement based on what people said and what they liked. I definitely think it's a great improvement on this guy right there. I just think it's the handle, the scales on this are fantastic. And you know what? I think that if you line up the holes, you could actually probably mount these directly on here if you were so inclined, because it looks like, the blank matches up so perfectly that the holes and everything are aligned just the same way as well. I wonder if maybe Ravencrest might market just these scales for folks that would want to put them on the this guy right there. That'd be something I'd be interested in. You can see slight differences in the sheath though, just based on the blade shape. So it's not totally interchangeable. But anyway, we're not rehashing the review on that. We're looking at this guy right here. So weight is good. Feels pretty good. I mean, it is a full tang fixed blade knife, so it's going to have some weight. I know a lot of you guys out there like a lighter knife. Some of you like a knife with some weight to it. I personally like a knife with a little bit of weight to it. I like to know I have the knife in my hand. I like to know when it's fallen out of my pocket, if that's going to happen. I recognize that on a fixed blade like this, though, more weight might not necessarily be a great thing, as it's going to weigh down on your hip or wherever you're carrying it. But I feel like the weight on this, the balance on this, is actually pretty good. Let's see, where's our center point? Right behind that first screw? Yeah. I'm not an avid knife thrower, but it feels like balance on this is pretty good. I could embarrass myself and throw it and have it tumble and do nothing, and you guys would probably enjoy that. Would you enjoy seeing me fail at throwing a knife? Probably. Overall, I think it's a good recovery from the last month. I'm still looking for the next Ambassador or the next Fury. I will forever judge all Ravencrest knives on the Ambassador and the Fury. They are two of the best, solid designs, nice craftsmanship. I wish I had the Fury out here, but I don't. I think all around great EDC, but practical but good looking knives that Ravencrest has put out. That's my opinion. I know that a lot of people, everybody has their own, their favorite Ravencrest. I think that kind of the height of practicality and yet styling was kind of with the Ambassador and the Fury. And I hope to get back to something like that design soon. So now, curious for your thoughts, guys. Good recovery, bad recovery, not enough recovery. What do you guys, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking of this? I think that it definitely, this is a hardwood stump. I definitely think that they went in the right direction. I still, again, I would like to see more recovery. I was really, if I was very disappointed in this Ravencrest, I was just gonna cancel straight off. There's actually a new subscription I'm going to try. More about that later, but I was ready to cut Ravencrest off if I hadn't seen some improvement. And this at least is some improvement, so we'll give them one more month and see what they come up with. What do you guys think? Okay, guys, so there we go. Ravencrest, July 2019. A little bit better. Make sure you peruse all those cool links in the video description, especially that other video where you can see the initial unboxing here, where we talk about the definitions of Japanese knife and sword types, and you can see the customized handle of how I replace this with something far superior. Genius work of art, have to say so. And then all the other links that are in there too. Lots of cool things for you to check out. Got lots of cool stuff planned today, so I'm going to get on with it. You guys, remember, you are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will be back again real soon.